you all very much for coming. We might begin by asking you to check your cell phone and see that it's contained. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th Canto, Chapter 9, Text 29. Labdva sudurlabhamidam bahusam bhavante manushavartadam nityamapi atiraha purnam yateta napate dharmrityayam nishvayasaya shaya kalu sarvatasyat. After many births and deaths, one achieves the rare human form of life, which, although temporary, affords one the opportunity to attain the highest perfection. Thus, a sober human being should quickly endeavor for the ultimate perfection of life, as long as his body, which is always subject to death, has not fallen down and died. After all, sense gratification is available, even in the most abominable species of life, whereas consciousness of Krishna is possible only for a human being. Purport. Material life essentially means repeated birth and death. Even the lowest forms of life, such as reptiles, insects, pigs, and dogs, have ample opportunity for sense gratification. Even ordinary housewives have a busy sex life and thus multiply rapidly. Human life, however, enables one to understand the absolute truth and is therefore full of grave responsibility. Since the valuable human life is not eternal, we should do the needful to achieve the highest perfection, Krishna consciousness. Before death appears, we should seriously cultivate our real self-interest. One can experience Krishna consciousness in the association of devotees of the Lord. Without their association, one is in danger of being attracted to an impersonal conception of life, which causes one to fall away from devotional service to the absolute truth. Or, being discouraged by one's failure to understand the absolute truth, one may return to the false platform of sense gratification. In conclusion, human life is meant for cultivating Krishna consciousness under the guidance of the experienced, self-realized devotees of the Lord. Om Jnana Tasya Anjana Shalakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurudeva Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manonistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Bhagavanyam Tathati Shakadantam Vandeham Shri Gaur Shri Jatapadatam Sri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Shadhatam Shahadana Radhanatam Nitam Sajivam Sadhaitam Sadhadutam Vivishana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Vishakam Namaskar. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopikakanta Radha Kanta Namaste Bhakta Kanta Gauri Radhe Kundavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Hanmani Paripriye Vanchato Dudasha Vasambhavayeka Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnaveyo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Swami Shri Vasudeva Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Love Sudulamita Bhausambhavanti Manusha Vartadam Nityamati Atila Turdam Vitedam Vitridam Nishray Sadhasya Kalusartasya Sudurlamita Bhausambhavanti. This human form of life is achieved after many, many lifetimes. It's understood that this one lifetime is not everything. Just as now we're in this room, previously we were in another room. When we leave, we'll be in another room. So now we're in this body. Previously we were elsewhere. Later we'll be elsewhere again. Because the soul within the body, or consciousness within the body, is eternal. Nahangite Vimana it's not finished when the body is finished. So when the body is finished, it has to go somewhere. It goes to the next body. It takes born again in another life. And it may not be a human life. There's so many animals, plants, trees, birds, reptiles, they're all living beings. And the life within the body of that living being is not created with the birth of the being. The life is eternal. So the living beings are moving around from one life to another, one species to another. And very rarely one gets the human life. If you counted all the living beings in Miami, the human beings would be a small, tiny fraction. There's so many insects, so many trees, so many birds, so many fish. And a small number of human beings. So the human life is rare. It's not such an easy thing. We take it for granted now. Of course, here. But it's a great opportunity, a great privilege. The whole of Sambhavati achieved after many, many births. It's understood that we travel through so many lifetimes. Now we have this human life. Bhagavad Sudurla Idam Bahusambhavati. Manusha, human life, Artadam. And this life is anitya. We won't be here forever as human beings. Maybe 10 years, 20 years, 100 years. No one will be here for 150 years. And it goes quickly. Time, as they say, flies. So anitya. For a short time, we would. Manusha, but in the human life we can get the greatest attention. The cats and dogs can't inquire about the purpose of life, about who they are, about why they're here. That the human being can do. Artadam. Artadam means that this human life affords us the greatest welfare or actual meaning is available in human life. Vanicya, apiha, dhira. Dhira means sober. Dhira section, sober, thoughtful, serious. One has to be serious. That I'm traveling from lifetime to lifetime, going through repeated birth and death. Now I have the opportunity to escape from this cycle of birth and death. Now I have the opportunity. So I have to take it very seriously. I have to take it very seriously. If after getting such an opportunity, if I blow it, if I waste it, then when will I get such an opportunity again? Dhira means very sober. But people are not sober, they're literally intoxicated, drinking, smoking, or they're intoxicated by their illusions. They get some money, they become intoxicated. They get some position, they become intoxicated. Someone flatters them, they become intoxicated. They get an opportunity to gratify their senses, they become intoxicated with the very thought of enjoyment. Let me enjoy. But the human life is not meant for being intoxicated by temporary things. It's meant for being serious. If you suppose we were in prison and we only had a small opportunity to get out, then we would take it very seriously. Suppose we knew that we only had 6 hours, within that 6 hours if we acted, we could get out. We wouldn't spend 5 hours playing cards or watching television. We would take it very seriously that I have this opportunity. I can get out. Let me use it. Therefore, the Bhagavatam says, Turnam yate. Turna means quickly or urgently. Urgently, one should endeavor. Yateta means it doesn't happen automatically. Education doesn't come automatically. Anything valuable, it's very rare that it just falls in our lap. We have to take it seriously. Even if it falls in our lap, we have to take it seriously. But Purna means urgently. Purna means very urgently. One should take to Krishna consciousness and endeavor. How can I become free from this material existence? Purnam yateta, napateta, anurintya. Unwritten, because this body is subject to death. It's not simply a pessimistic way of looking at things. It's not a subjective opinion. This body needs, it must die. Unwritten. That's the nature of this body. So, napate, until that time, one should take it seriously. Once that time comes, it's too late. It's too late. Nothing can be done. If my time has been wasted, now I can't get it back. So, turna mateta, no potato, until that time comes, one should be very serious about getting free from material existence, and nishradasana, getting the perfection of Krishna consciousness, the perfection of going back home after that. in the Shreyas, or the perfection of understanding who I am, what the purpose of my life is. People are not endeavoring for that. They're off to the movies, they're off to the club, they're off to the workplace. And as far as the real business of human life, they're largely clueless. They're largely clueless. They don't know even that this is the purpose of human life, to inquire about self-realization from the Jayadvaita Swami. The alternative is that my purpose in life here is to enjoy. Vishya means I have my senses, my eyes, my ears, my nose, my tongue, my sense of touch. And through those senses, I can enjoy. The tongue can taste something nice. The eyes can see something beautiful. Ears will hear something pleasing. Touch can be satisfied. Taste, sense of taste can be gratifying. So why should I spend my time with spiritual realization or endeavoring for something? Let me, while I have the opportunity, let me enjoy my senses. Taste something nice, see something nice, hear something nice. Let me endeavor for that. If I have to endeavor, let me endeavor to enjoy my senses. But the Bhagavatam says, Vishya Kala Sarvatasya, that you can do in any species of life. The dog is also eating, the dog is also sleeping, the dog also has sex, the dog also ensuring its security. The insect is also pleasing in sense of taste, its sense of sight, its sense of smell. In every species of life, we can do that. Then why should I spend my human life seeking after the same satisfaction that I can get in any life? The human being thinks that his enjoyment is superior. But everyone thinks my enjoyment is nice. The pig doesn't think only if I could eat in a nice restaurant with the human beings. The pig is happy. He's got some excrement to eat. He's happy. The mosquito is happy drinking blood. Can't be persuaded, no, blood is not very nice to drink. He thinks this is better than beer. This is better than cognac. This is better than champagne. Nice fresh blood. And the enjoyment that the mosquito gets by drinking is not less than the enjoyment that the human being gets by drinking. The enjoyment that the mosquito gets from sex is not less than the enjoyment that the human being gets from sex. It's the same thing. Whether the animal, the bird, it's the same business, just little different. The dog eats on the street, we eat in a hotel, and so on. But it's the same business. The same business. The rich man eats some wonderful dinner prepared by some big chef, and the poor man eats some ordinary thing. But at the end of the meal, both have their belly full, both go to sleep. And the sleeping of the president and the sleeping of the beggar is the same. So the Bhagavatam says, why should I endeavor for the same happiness that automatically comes to the dog, the mosquito, the bird, the snake? I have so many lifetimes, and all those lifetimes I can do that. Now I have a lifetime where I can inquire about God. I can inquire about my spiritual identity. Now I should use this human life for that. Not working hard for the same happiness available elsewhere. So this is all possible in the association of those who are devotees of Krishna. If we want to do business, we should go to the stock exchange or to the business association. If we want to do music, we should go where musicians gather. And if we want to be attaining spiritual realization, we should associate with those who are serious about spiritual realization. For this Krishna consciousness movement is meant for that. It's the opportunity. It's the opportunity for understanding the value of the human form of life and achieving substantial perfection. Substantial perfection. By hearing about Krishna, by chanting this Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By tasting the food offered to Krishna, by association with devotees, we have that opportunity to make progress. So to remember, we should take it very urgently and make our life successful. All right. Hare Krishna. Are there some questions?
What is the process of association with devotees? What do you mean by associating with devotees?
Association with devotees means not just rubbing shoulders, but it means to hear about Krishna, to chant Hare Krishna, to serve Krishna. That's what devotees will do. If you get together with card players, they'll play cards. If you get together with techies, they'll talk tech and think about tech and do tech things. And if you associate with devotees, you'll hear about Krishna, you'll discuss about Krishna, chant Hare Krishna, thank Krishna, do some tangible service for Krishna.
What is the good about that? What is the result of having all those?
The result of that is that you become Krishna conscious. And the result of that is that when this life is finished, Chakra Devam Punarjanmanam, then you go back to Krishna. You don't have to continue in the cycle of birth and death.
There is any symptoms of
Any?
There is any symptoms, like for example when you see someone that is healthy, there are some symptoms of that health.
The symptom is he's always engaged in the service of Krishna. He's always chanting Hare Krishna, he's always doing something for Krishna. And therefore he's detached from Maya, from material entanglements. Something else? Very nice. My mother has come to her friends, Olga and Lila. So very happy that they've come. And Lila's already stringing cards.
Very good.
Yes.
Maharaj, you said that Amrita means that it's appropriate to take advantage of this great opportunity of human life before the next death, before that comes, before falling down and dying. But we hear in Bhagavad Gita that there's no loss of diminution, that it's not, you mentioned it's too late after death. But isn't it something that can continue without any loss, whatever little start?
There may be no loss. Bhagavad Gita says there's no loss or diminution. But do I want to go through this again? Just suppose you're in school, so your credit is not lost if you have to repeat the 7th grade again. But do you want to keep repeating the 7th grade, or do you want to graduate and be out? It's no loss. You're still there. Your credit is there. That you're not meant just to sit on your credits and make no further progress and repeat 7th grade again and again.
I thought the next life I got 8th grade.
No, you stay where you are. It's not that you automatically get promoted. If you wasted this life, just school. If you sit there and waste your time in the class, they may not send you back to 6th grade, but they don't send you up to 8th grade.
Is there a distinction between somebody who hasn't tried at all and somebody who at least has made some attempt?
Yeah, if you tried, then you have credit. If you didn't make any attempts, then you have no credit. Yes?
What do you mean by substantial?
Substantial. Substantial means related to Krishna and the spirit soul. The progress related to this material body is not substantial because it will all be finished. Substantial means that, like a dream is not substantial because when you wake up, it's gone. So whatever now I have a house, I have money, I have a big family, I have a big library, I have thousands of friends, I have on my Facebook at least 10,000 of friends. But at death it's all finished and therefore it's not substantial. But the soul is substantial, it never perishes. And progress pertaining to someone, therefore is substantial. Yeah, we hear, why do I care about liberation? Just let me be born as a devotee, life after life. Of course, that's just one form of liberation. To be engaged in devotional service automatically includes liberation. So, why do I have to go looking for $5? If I get a $10 bill, my $5 bill is already included. So everything's included if I'm engaged in devotional service. But we shouldn't want to waste our time in this material world.
So
Yes.
we see that we make garlands, and we say that devotional service. We see that someone is cooking, doing garlands, cleaning. But also we see that there are other people also in the shop, they do garlands, beautiful garlands to do in the shops, in the flower shop. And people are also cleaning, and so what is the difference?
Someone's stringing flowers because they'll get paid to string flowers. And someone's doing stringing flowers with devotion, spirit, contributing. So there's a difference. One is material, the other is spiritual. One is higher in salary, and the other is service.
Like being vegetarian and eating salad.
Yeah. As soon as there is Krishna connection, then it's substantial. Otherwise, evolution. Anything else?
Just associating with devotees, we were talking about the Dasi Pratikrinati principle, like associating the minimum.
Associating with devotees means we give something to devotees, we receive something from devotees. You give them some prasadam, we receive some prasadam from them. You reveal your mind to them, and you hear from them. Yes, this is association. Loving. Yes. Is there such a thing as spiritual anger? Yes. Transcendental anger is also there. Can material anger means you didn't get your senses gratified, and now you're angry. In some way, your material interests are impinged upon, and so now you're angry. And spiritually, Lord, your interests or those who are connected with you, my friends, my family, my country, our interests are compromised, so I'm angry as hell. But spiritual anger means that for the sake of Krishna, there's anger. Hanuman got angry at Radha. And he's kidnapped Sita. He's trying to enjoy the property of Lord Ramchandra. I'll set fire to the city. There's transcendental miracles. Krishna also did. Everything is originally in Krishna. When in Krishna it's pure. And when it's disconnected from Krishna it's impure. Lord Srideva, no one is more angry than he is. But that's pure anger. That anger is as good as love. Yes? I can't hear a word.
Why do we chant 16 rounds?
Why do we chant 16? No.
So we chant 16 rounds, and sometimes when it's an idol, how is that, how can we control our anger or emotions? Though during chanting 16 rounds, there are people,
You're chanting, but sometimes you get angry. So when you get angry, you can think of Lord Srideva. Because he's more angry than you are. You're only a little bit angry. He's unlimited angry. Do we stop here? Tell me what to do. I can answer a couple more questions. Okay, tell me.
Oh, there is any difference, as she was saying, between chanting, just chanting the holy name, or there is another type of chanting that could be viewed or different, like the one that we're chanting? Or
You chant the holy name of Krishna, or you chant the glories of Krishna? To speak from Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, that's also chanting. That's it. To read books, that's also chanting.
how can we avoid the emotions?
How can we avoid
Avoid our emotions and the anger.
Why do you have to avoid it? You can be angry, just be angry for Krishna. But when you're chanting Hare Krishna, then you'll not be so very angry. Because you'll become peaceful by chanting. Generally we're angry when our senses are, we don't get what we want. We want something and we don't get it and we're angry. But if all you want is to engage in the service of Krishna, then that can be unhappy. Yes.
I'm feeling angry right now that we only have you here for such a short visit. Angry, is that spiritual anger? Is it possible that maybe you're here to take just a few minutes and tell us a little bit about your current teaching itinerary? I heard you were in the Orient.
My main service is in Africa. We've started a division of Bhaktivedanta Buddha Trust in Africa. Our headquarters is in Johannesburg, South Africa. And we're responsible for books, seeing books distributed all over the continent. There are 40 countries. We're active in about 14 countries so far. We've begun publishing books in local languages like Zulu, Xhosa, Swahili, and gradually we're increasing. We started really 3 years ago. We have an annual conference in different countries of Africa about the activities of the DBT, with devotees invited from all over. And that's through some enthusiasm to grow through this distribute through the Prabhupada's books. We have a library program in Sanskrit books in many countries. This is one couple. It's undertaking the program to place books in African libraries. People are giving donations to support that book distribution, and this couple is pushing the program forward with nice success.
Various languages?
Yeah, basically the most important language in sub-Saharan Africa is English. French also in countries like Congo and others. But the main language is English. And then there are local languages which are people's native tongues. Even though they may speak English, their language at home may be Suswati or Xhosa or Zulu or what have you. Nelson Mandela said, if you speak to a person in language he understands, then you can reach his mind. And if you speak to a person in his language, then you can reach his heart. So, apart from publishing books in English, which is widely understood, we want to publish books in local languages that will speak to people's hearts.
Maharaj, could we kindly tell us a little bit about your relationship with the founder of this process here in America?
With what?
With Srila Prabhupada?
No, there's no time to do that.
A little, one little.
Relationship is what I said, it's Prabhupada is there, we're here, and we try to do some service, and that's the relationship. He's our master, we're his servants, and the relationship is that we have to try to carry out the instructions that he's given us. Bhaktivedanta that's the relationship. Gives us 2 minutes left if there's another question. When you turn toward Krishna, there's unlimited time. Turn away from Krishna, there's limited material time.
This spiritual time.
Yeah, there's spiritual time. But here time is limited. And there time is eternal. Different kind of time.
What do you mean by the body?
Here it's limited, your body is limited. So every time the sun rises and sets, you have 1 minute less to figure it out. But in the spiritual world, there's no such limitation. Okay? I think it's time for the party. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Jaya
Hare